Hey everybody, welcome to reInvent. My name is Michael Lynn. I'm a developer advocate here at MongoDB, and today we have a special guest on the MongoDB live stream. We're going to be chatting with Gregg Mojica.
Hey everybody, I'm Gregg, founder of Alloy.
Good to have you here. Why don't you tell the folks a little bit about yourself and Alloy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm one of the co-founders of Alloy. We are basically a no-code automation platform for commerce. So we connect over 220 integrations, everything from Shopify and BigCommerce to Amazon and ERPs like NetSuite. And we make that all available in a no-code editor that you can basically connect different applications together without ever writing code. So it really helps brands. We're used by folks like Burberry and Amazon and many, many others as well.
Great, some recognizable names. So,
absolutely.
So if I try and think of like what Alloy is outside of e-commerce, like a Zapier.
Similar, yeah. So we have we're basically like a Zapier on steroids. We've got hundreds of integrations, and we go really, really deep. So we let you build super, super complex automations that you can't do with a Zapier.
Okay, but specifically in the e-commerce space.
Very much, yeah. So we're super verticalized for commerce. We've got everything is tied around the commerce ecosystem.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
3 years now. So we started in pre-pandemic, November 2019.
Oh my goodness, that's a rough time to start a company.
It was a tough time. It was, well, it was a good time then, and then COVID hit, right? So things changed.
Yeah. So starting a company, one of the biggest things is creating a pitch and getting investors and backing. Tell the folks a little bit about your process there.
Yeah, so we started the business, like I said, in 2019, and things were going well. We applied to YC, we got into YC, and that was game changing for us, of course, because at the time we were just two people with an idea, and got into YC. That gave us a lot of legitimacy. And then from there we did the batch, and that was the Winter 20 batch. So that was the last in-person actual batch.
Yeah.
And everything was going very well. And January and February, March rolls around, and of course this thing no one ever knows called COVID happened, right? So we thought to ourselves, okay, let's try to raise a round. Of course, the demo day was happening, and this is when a lot of YC companies typically raise money at the end of the batch. We started to raise, and just the economy was totally collapsing. It was we had investors pulling out left and right. We couldn't get that round closed initially.
Yeah,
very, very challenging time.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we had some really great backers. Actually, one of the founders of Webflow invested in us and gave us a lot of some good tailwinds there. And we were able to pull that round together.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the the height of the pandemic, it was challenging.
Yeah, I was going to say. So I mean, you're backed by YC, and your investors include some pretty impressive names.
Thank you. Yeah, we've got obviously YC, one of our lead investors from the pre-seed, and then we've got Anderson Horowitz and Bain Capital, and we've got dozens and dozens of e-commerce operators, right? So basically, many of the app partners that we connect with, the Attentos of the world and the Webflows of the world, their founders are actually invested in us, which is exciting. So we're very closely partnered with them.
That's great. Well, congratulations on the success so far.
Thank you.
What round are you in?
We did our Series A in February, actually.
Oh, fantastic. So, congratulations. So if you want to find out more information, visit runalloy.com. We'll have a little banner there. Thanks for that. So one of the other things that was important in your startup was choosing the right stack and partnering with the right technology companies. Tell us about the stack and who you've partnered with.
Yeah, so obviously you guys are a big component of the stack, right? So we run on AWS, right? We've run on AWS since the beginning, and as for database, we chose Mongo as our primary database. So we're working with you guys ever since we were two people, and we started on Atlas, and we continue to be on Atlas today. We definitely take advantage of DynamoDB being other tools as well, but Mongo is our primary database that we use. So it's been very exciting, and obviously having the support of Atlas is great.
Fantastic. So when you say you're integrated with AWS, that's interesting to me. I just learned an interesting fact about AWS. There's something on the order of 24 billion transactions per second. And by the way, that's backed with a NoSQL database. So pretty incredible statistics there. So when you say you're partnered with AWS, what does that look like?
Yeah, so we're built on top of AWS, but we actually have a partnership with Amazon. And so we work actually closely with their Buy with Prime team. And the Buy with Prime team is a new service they've released, actually.
So Buy with Prime?
Buy with Prime,
Okay, yeah.
It's a new service they're releasing, actually, that takes the Prime experience and puts it on other D2C sites. So historically, you would see these things, you would see the Amazon.com checkout experience only on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
That's the 2-day, guaranteed delivery thing. And they're taking that and putting that on other D2C sites. And so they've needed integration partners. And so we're one of their integration partners, helping them connect to BigCommerce and Magento and many other platforms.
Okay, so integration is key. You said D2C, direct to consumer?
Correct, yes.
And so I might see this out there on the web.
Yeah, there's many stores live with it so
Yeah.
far. I mean,
And that's backed by Alloy.
yeah, we're powering many of
Wow.
the integrations. So lots going on.
Fantastic.
A lot of orders being
Yeah.
processed.
So I want to learn a little bit more about Alloy, the product. I understand there are two faces of this. Talk a little bit more about how Alloy looks to folks that might be interested.
Sure, yeah. So we have two offerings. So we started out as a merchant-facing product, right? Saying, look, we want to build basically a product that allows merchants to create very complex, powerful automation specifically for commerce. That was our kind of initial bet, and that's proven very well. We've got folks like Burberry, for example, that use that. But what's interesting is we've actually heard in the past several months, or year for this matter now, a lot of folks were actually going to us and saying, you've got all these integrations, over 220 of these things. Why don't you take these and make these available to us as software businesses, right? Kept hearing this over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so we were initially very hesitant to do this, right? Because offering a second product is a lot of work and a lot of maintenance. But we thought to ourselves, there might be some tailwinds here. We kept hearing it over and over again. And so we've now taken the existing library we have, over 220 integrations, and now that is accessible in a single SDK. So if you're a business, you can say, I want to build an integration with, let's say, Shopify, or I want to build an integration with Magento. And instead of going in and manually, setting that up, it's very time consuming. It requires a lot of work. That runs in our infra. We support it. We maintain it. And you embed it basically with a single kind of like plaid-like modal. So there's a modal that comes in and you say, connect to Shopify, and it all works behind the scenes, and the user never knows they're using Alloy for it. So it's totally a white labeled experience.
Okay, so sort of like incorporating a library and gaining access to all the methods that you've already kind of pre-baked.
Exactly, yeah. It's just SDK first, so developer product.
Fantastic. Now, we've worked closely for quite some time, MongoDB and Alloy together, but you came up through the startups program. Talk a little bit about your experience with MongoDB for startups.
Yeah, absolutely. Having your guys' support, in the beginning with the credits and just all the kind of just the general support you guys give us was very, very helpful. As a young company, the last thing you want to worry about is maintenance or just routine uptime sort of stuff. And so we were able to have a dedicated contact at Mongo that we can always message, and have that kind of support was very, very helpful.
Fantastic, terrific. So what else do people need to know about Alloy?
Yeah, well, if you're a developer or you're looking to build integrations, come talk to us. We have, like I said, hundreds of integrations and hundreds more on the way, right?
Yeah.
All commerce focused. So if you want to save some time and not end up building one of these integrations in house, talk to us. There's a SDK you can go live in an hour.
Fantastic. So runalloy.com. What are you excited about at reInvent? What do you want to see?
I had a talk yesterday, so that was exciting.
Fantastic.
So,
tell us about the talk.
Yeah, I spoke about the integration with Buy with Prime, actually. So we had a really good session yesterday, and there's so many more sessions coming up that I'm excited about. There's a keynote tomorrow as well, so we're excited to attend that. Meeting new folks always. So
Fantastic. Well, Greg, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, thanks everybody.
Yep.